Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me today. I can't wait for you to meet Aros Mackey, but he's been on my program before. I've interviewed him several times. I'm going to let him talk a little bit about himself and why we are going live today here on Facebook and also YouTube. And I'll probably repost this. But Aros, thank you so much for joining me today.
You bet, Shemaine. It's always a pleasure to be on your program or anytime you go live.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. So, Aros, tell us a little bit about your organization called Adaptive Ops and what it is that you do.
Okay. Well, we're a counter human trafficking nonprofit organization. We focus on the recovery side of helping people escape human trafficking. And then we emphasize education and help prevent it from happening. But our specialty is in the protection side. We focus on missing people when there's a teenager that's at risk or likely being trafficked. We help the families create the extrication plan. We'll find them first and then create the extrication plan with the family. And then we also have survivor leaders and victims of human trafficking that will call us and have us help come get them out of bad situations and then uh, that's it can be a pretty dark industry, but that's pretty much our area of expertise.
So, you have something going on right now, and you're doing a little bit of a fundraiser. Tell us about that and how people can get involved.
Okay, yeah. So we decided to create a fundraiser where we're going to raffle off our mission vehicle, and this is a super cool uh, spy car, if you will. It has saved a lot of lives. It's designed to be proficient in covert situations, doing surveillance and be safe for the operator. And and it's a cool car. It's a 2017 Ford Explorer. It has the SCT tuning on it, and it's got the twin turbos because any car I use out in the field's got to be very quick. And this is a super fun car to drive, and plus we're giving that opportunity for people to donate when they make a donation into the raffle. It's actually that money is actually going toward rescues, and we'll replace the vehicle with something different, but it's just an incentive to donate and help us out. And heck, $20, you might just actually win this vehicle. And it's not just the vehicle. We also have the a Voodoo rifle built by Voodoo Gunworks, and they donated this rifle last year. They did the same thing and raffled it off and brought in $28,000 from that raffle, and so that's included in this with the vehicle, and we're talking ultra high precision rifles, and I believe they even got picked up by the Olympics, and then Southern Utah Gun Vault, a friend of mine donated a Fort Knox 12 gun safe. And so all those are included in this raffle, and somebody out there is going to win this. It might don't be somebody that donated $20 or whatever. But anyway, they can just go to the website to make a donation and turn.
And if you had to put a dollar amount on what all of that would be worth, what would you just roughly?
Probably around 35,000.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a donation. They can make any donation at all. And
You
buy a
actually need
raffle
to go
ticket?
through the link.
Okay.
Yep, you go to the website. About halfway down the page, there's a link for the raffle, and then there's another link inside there. It's pretty easy once you get into that for entering specifically into the raffle, donating that direction.
So for those people who haven't seen Aros before, about a year and a half ago, you were on my show and came into the studio that we were filming, and a friend of mine, Jessica Higdon, and her husband happened to see that,
Yeah.
episode, and they tell us what happened, Eros.
Oh yeah, they selected adaptive ops to be a part of an annual event that they do, and they had based on their supporters and that event, we there was like 75,000 that came in, and then the Higdons generously donated and rounded all up to 100,000, and a lot of lives have been saved, Shemaine, and I hope you understand as well that your efforts in this direction, you've given an awesome platform for people that are out there doing good work, and so uh, you know it's a special way for you to have been involved in this, and but we're now at the point where we have to keep fundraising. The unfortunately, this is not the type of a industry where you can look at it as an investment because it's inefficient. That it's incredibly difficult work. There's not really a return on an investment, but how do you put a dollar price on saving a life?
Yeah.
And
That's a
so
that's a big return on investment, if you ask me. So I want to get your thoughts on what is going on today in Afghanistan. Have you've been out of the country before rescuing, right?
yes, I do overseas missions, and I've trained with some groups that we were planning on going into northern Iraq and to help the Yazidis back in 2017. But now with Afghanistan, I am really terribly concerned. I my master's degree is in intelligence, and I focused so much on Pakistan and Afghanistan back when I was doing my research there and studying the foreign terrorist organizations in those areas. And uh, the Taliban now is, I don't think we're really going to be able to predict
Mm.
what's going to happen, but they have an incredible platform. I mean, this game has now turned to it's the Taliban's to lose because they are in so much control, and luckily, they tend to not really be highly capable on the training side. So even though they have Black Hawk helicopters and things that we've given to the Afghan,
Our Black Hawk helicopters, our arms, our machine guns, our everything. They're in
yeah,
control of all that. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people today. Tomorrow, here at our place in Texas, we have a fundraiser for an organization called Hunter Nation, and one of the heads, the guy who created it and organized it, Keith Mark, has been talking with Mark Geist and some of the people who have been overseas, lost buddies there, lost limbs there, Johnny Joey Jones, and fought bravely and came home, and now they're seeing this. And a lot of people, Eros, are really upset. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people that are just in tears, and they're having a difficult time with this. What would you say to those people? How can we all, as Americans, we're sitting here frustrated. What can we do?
well, first of all, we can't be surprised that there's politicking in politics.
Mm.
And President Trump recently made a statement saying that President Ashraf Ghani was corrupt and he was protected by senators, and he was doing everything he can to help in Afghanistan. But when you have a government that is has corruption inside of there, um, and then it's a terrible loss. And those that made the sacrifices, those that sacrificed their life, look at what's happening now. Look at how people are running scared. Teenage girls screaming across the border that the Taliban is coming to get her.
Yeah.
Let her through. Let her through. The lives that were sacrificed by our military personnel were absolutely protecting those women and children and the good men that were helping us. They were. Look at it now. Now look what's happened. Okay, so our military personnel that they sacrificed, and even though it has gone backward, they kept people safe. They saved more lives than anybody will ever know by the work that was done out there. And so I am so grateful to our military personnel that did sacrifice and did everything they can, and those my friends are that are dealing with it. I have friends right now that are trying to get back out there to help with
Yeah.
rescues, and they need airplanes, and they've got everything ready to go. I mean, we're talking tier 1 operators that have the clearances and the area of responsibility. They have the approvals to get in there. They're doing everything they can, and I know they're having the flashbacks in their minds. They know, they're thinking of these children that they've seen before, and they want to get back in there and get them out of there. And now getting them out, getting the people in Afghanistan are just trying to get to the tarmac.
Yeah.
And
Have you seen the video? Victor Marks posted video of the lines of people standing on the runway waiting. So, how are we supposed to find out who's really an American citizen and who's not? I mean, and then what happens? This is just
most of the people on that tarmac are people that have helped the US government at some point. And the Taliban seems to be standing down on the tarmac. They know if they come in there, then the US will absolutely come in and destroy them. But right now, the Taliban, they're preventing people from getting to the airport. They're out there destroying families. They're cutting arms off and sacrificing people, hanging them, shooting people in front of their houses that helped in any way. And now the intelligence apparatus was still intact when the president walked away, totally handed the keys to the capital over to the Taliban. It was a mutual agreement. The Taliban walked in and said, "Hey, we need your people still. We need people in place." And it was like some kind of election transition. And so but in answering your question about those that sacrificed, to you men and women that lost friends and walk away with injuries and mental injuries from it, the people who are desperately trying to get out of there right now, thank you for all that time that they were safe.
Yep. And, I've said this before, when I say it to veterans, thank you just doesn't seem like enough anymore. Like, I wish there was, more than a thank you very much, because you're talking about, and parents who have lost children, spouses who have lost their spouses, children who have lost their parents in this. And it's all for what? It's destroyed in a matter of hours. And, I saw a comment here that it makes you wonder why this has happened. There's a lot of theories out there, but, a year ago, there were many of us who were saying things that we were considered to be a conspiracy theorist. And, the best thing that you can do right now is research, read everything. Trust nobody. Do your own research. Don't go to Aros's website and find out what he's all about. And if that's something that you feel aligned with what he's doing, I've researched it, and I know enough and have researched enough to know that this is somebody that I want to support. And I also, and of course, we hooked you up with the Higdons. The Higdon group was amazing. It buoyed my spirit when I found out how much money they raised for you. Like
Yeah.
I do feel like a little bit grateful that I was able to connect you guys. But I want to,
Mhm.
there's another comment here I'm looking for from Kevin Shaw. Okay. Kevin Shaw asks, Eros, what's the become an ally link on your site?
Okay. So I have had an explosion in social media this year. And we had, and mainly on TikTok. I was
You're on TikTok?
not, yeah, I was
Do
not
you do
necessarily.
dance videos?
no, no, but what I found was there are children that are so vulnerable on TikTok, and there's
Mm,
traffickers and predators using it. And I thought, why don't we go ahead, and I had an intern, Abby, that was like, can I try this? Can I try doing a TikTok? And I thought, let's try it. We can reach and educate and try to protect from inside there. And it exploded, and we ended up getting over 30,000 followers straight away. A video that has been viewed over like 1.2 or 1.3 million times, and I've got thousands of messages, thousands of people that want to be a part. They're like, what can we do? What do I? And so we created the Allies program, where people who are supporting can be more than just somebody that's sharing what we do. They send us their why they want to be an ally, and then we select some of them and mentor them personally. I mentor them personally, and so it was just a way to try to help people be more involved.
I love that. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Because I told you when we first met, via, I can't even remember how we first met. Um, but I wanted to become involved. I want to go through your
Yeah.
training. Talk a little bit about your training and what you do.
Okay. Well, the training is designed to help people be able to, um, number one, understand liability issues, or if they come along on a mission with us. And when it comes to liability, I mean, we're a nonprofit organization that anybody who donates are going to be able to write that off, and then we're insured, we're bonded. I'm not sure there are other organizations out there that are insured to do this type of work. And I made sure that we were protected. And so anybody that goes with me, or my collaborative partners that I team up with, they're going to be duly listed. They're going to be insured if they're working with me, because it's a dangerous field out there. And so we just make sure that we prepare to not have a hostile situation happen. But if it does, then we're prepared to win that fight if it ever comes to it.
And when I was talking to you, I was describing to Ted what you do. And he goes, I don't understand. If they know where they're at, why can't I just get my hunting buddies and we go rescue them? And what were some of the things that you told Ted about why you can't do that?
Well, this is the hardest part about the work in the United States. What we're doing, nobody else is doing it like us. And traffickers know how to use the Constitution to protect themselves. So they know how to operate in the confines of the law when it comes to probable cause. They're breaking the law. They are a crime scene. Trafficking people is illegal, but they're doing it behind closed doors, so law enforcement can't do anything about it, because the law enforcement have to operate in probable cause. We don't want them to not do that.
Mhm.
I mean, it would be bad if the law enforcement and our government didn't have to use the Constitution, but the traffickers know how to use that to protect themselves from it. And so essentially, if we just went out and did what a lot of people think of, just going and kicking in doors and taking the bad guys down, then you'd be breaking the law. And it's not the way that you do this. And then you be essentially start becoming the bad guy too.
Yeah. So I want to ask you one more question, then I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
How much does your faith play into what you do?
That is everything to what I do. Um, when I get a new case, I pray about it, then to I take it to my heavenly Father and ask him. And I am not interested in being injured or being eliminated in this work. And so I watch for the hand of God when I'm out doing my cases. And if I'm obedient to him, then things just tend to work out right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I love
And
that.
life gets saved.
Yeah. Well, Eros, God bless you for what you're doing. We're going to keep you in our prayers. And if people want to find out more about you, I've been posting your website, adaptiveops.org, but you're also on social media, right?
Yep, I'm all over social media, yeah, so that people can help. And one last thing, when it comes to Afghanistan, if people have access to airplanes and things like that, I don't want any attention from it or anything. But if you have it, contact me and I'll connect you to some of the people who, some of them have funding, they have the teams ready to go. They just don't have the access into they have the access, they just don't have the plane. And so if you have anything like that, reach out to me so I can make some connections for you.
And I just posted this morning a link to my friend Anna Paulina Luna is organizing. She's trying to do a fundraiser also to help get larger planes. She's working with a lot of medical staff because
Mm-hmm.
who knows what conditions these people are in. And you know that from rescuing people.
Mm-hmm.
They're traumatized, not only at that, but physically, perhaps not in a great state.
Yeah, and many of them are going to be children without their families. You see babies being tossed up over the fences, so because they're going to get killed otherwise, so it's just send them over, and that's what they're doing.
Mm. It is. It's just so sad, and it's heartbreaking, and it's really disturbing. And okay, one more question. I lied.
Okay.
One more. This is the last one. So on that note, we are now experiencing what you experience oftentimes when you may be going into a rescue, or about a difficult situation that you got to go into, or perhaps you've rescued somebody that it's just exhausting emotionally and physically. What do you do to keep yourself healthy and to get out of that?
Hmm. That's
Remove
a great question.
your mindset from that.
Yeah, it's called self-care, and everybody has their own level of self-care that can help themselves. For me, I find it in service, and in my home. I try to keep a strong spirit in my home, and for me it's prayer and scripture, and you know good music helps me kind of reconnect. And I'll take a few days to get myself feeling better after what I had seen, and then I start feeling the call again. Okay, it's time
Mhm.
to go back out, time to get
Mm.
out there, and then I do it again. But I absolutely must watch for the hand of God when
Yeah.
I'm out there, and that self-care makes it so that you can.
Yeah. We got to take care of ourselves. I said this before. I talk about in my Sunday setup that I do every Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern. And I talk about taking care of yourself. Even like people have been reaching out to me. Can you believe what's going on? I'm so sad. I've been crying. People have been crying over this. And I said, focus on what you can do. For those of us who are sitting here not sure what we feel so frustrated and disappointed, we can help people like you, people like Anna Paulina Luna, who are trying to raise money, the Nazarene Fund that Glenn Beck is organizing. But we can also take care of ourselves, because we don't know when we're going to be called to help you do what you do, or just in general help our community, our family. So we have got to take care of our mind, bodies, and spirit, and instill your body with superfood nutrition. And I saw Kevin on here who's doing this 11-day shred that we've been doing. And I'm not posting this now, but if anybody wants to find out more about it, what we're doing, they can go to my website, shemainnugent.rocks, or also wildlywell21 at gmail.com. That's wildlywell21 at gmail.com. Boy, see that comment?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We could talk
It's
for a
sweet.
long
It's
time
sweet.
here,
But
Aros.
don't discredit what you do. And it's the widow's mite, right? I mean, even if somebody was only, I have somebody that donates $2 a month. And I love that. There's been times where I'm been in a dark alley and I get this little alert and $2 came in. It brought light to my heart. And so people might feel like they're not doing enough or they want to do more. Don't discredit, even if you do a little bit. You're doing something, and it is making a difference. And just don't stop doing little things, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. And that's one of the things that I don't know how much money Glenn Beck's raised for this Nazarene fund, like millions and tens of
A
millions
lot.
of dollars already. And he said most of it comes in the form of $5 or $10. So I know that you wouldn't be opposed to that. If you got 100 people
No.
donating $5 or $10, that makes a difference, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's so important for our work.
Yeah. Well, Aros, thank you so much. We're going to keep you in our prayers. God bless you
Thank
for
you.
what you're doing. Godspeed. Keep up the good work and know that we're here for you. And I got your text this morning and I'm like, let's do it live. Come on, let's do it. So, you know, I'm always here for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and tell Uncle Ted hi.
I will. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to go to adaptiveops.org and check out his raffle. You might just win his amazing vehicle. Tell us, what is that again? What's it called?
It's a mission vehicle. It's a
Mission vehicle.
2017 Ford Explorer. It's got a lot of really cool spy stuff that I personally built into it. No
Nice.
rockets or grenade launchers or anything
Oh,
like that. Sorry, but it's got other cool stuff.
awesome. All right, Eros. Have a great day, and
Thank
I'll
you
talk to you
too.
soon.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.